And then I'm going to put a block of wood over here just to kind of hold it in place. I'm going to tape it down so this whole thing stays in place. So when I do tape this in here, and I'm also going to put a block of wood right in here to hold this piece in place so it doesn't slide this way, because there's going to be a little bit of pressure on it. Okay, I've got my two little blocks of wood. This one's going to get taped right here. This one's going to get taped right here. And what I use is just the double-sided carpet tape. Off, stick it down here. So now that's not going to move at all. It's just going to stay there. So now I've got my pyramid side. This one that I've glued over here, there's some flexibility to it, so it's actually tilting down this way too much, so that makes it a little bit tight at the top, which is basically going to cause some issues. So I got to figure out a way I can hold it, and maybe I just have to stand here and hold it, I don't know. Or probably what I can do is I can take this block and I can glue it in here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just not glue it, but when I put this piece of tape down or put this block down, I'll just use it to hold both of these. Okay, so that's holding those two jigs in place. Now this is loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the base, or I'm going to glue the base, and then I'm going to glue this edge as well. Okay, I got glue on two sides. Got everything set up so it should just drop right in there. Okay, looks good. Got a little bit of glue seeping out. But the whole idea with this particular pyramid is I'm going to basically paint it and sand it and paint it and finish it up really nice. But it's, you know, always good to have a nice good edge, and so far everything's looking really, really good. Okay, I've pulled it out of the jig. Got two sides done so far. Here it is. Now we're going to do a third side. Okay, there I've glued it up. I've glued up the third side of the pyramid. Got everything wedged in there. So the next one, in about 15 or 20 minutes or so, I'll come and put the back side on and pull all the jigs out, and hopefully that will glue up really nice. We'll see what happens. All right, so here we go. Got the pyramid ready to glue up the final side. It's looking pretty good. I just laid it on there without glue, the final side, and it fits perfectly. So I'm going to stick it in my jig here, glue it up, and stick it on there. Okay, so there it is. A little mini GP. Looks really good. All the seams are really good. They're nice and tight. There's a couple of little minor gaps, but that'll all get fixed once the glue dries up on this last side here. Then I'll turn it over and I'll pour some glue into the seams on the inside and let that harden. And that should really hold it together pretty well. So this little pyramid is built to the exact proportions of the Great Pyramid in Giza. Okay, here we are with my little miniature Great Pyramid again, and I want to try to explain something about the angles on the Great Pyramid, because there can be some confusion about how to make one of these. This particular thing I made right here, if I stand it up like this angle right here is the slope. Okay, that's the sides of the pyramid. That's the slope. Okay, and this edge right here, that's the edge angle. So this angle from the base to the top is different than this angle on the slope to the base. And I'm going to try to show that. So if I take this and turn it upside down, lean it up against the side of my pyramid, So that's basically 52 degrees right there, which makes this straight up and down. 90-degree angle in comparison to the base. So if you take the same thing and you stick it on the edge angle here, you can see how it tilts. There's less of a slope there, there's less of an angle. It's actually almost 10 degrees difference in the corner angle than it is on the slope angle. So you see now this is no longer 90 degrees. So a lot of times there's some confusion. People take the corners and they make them 52 degrees, which makes your pyramid a lot taller than the Great Pyramid. And there's nothing wrong with that. It still has the pyramid energy, but you know, in my particular case, I'm trying to duplicate the Great Pyramid dimensions as close as possible. Okay, here's the pyramid. It's pretty much all together, and I wanted to show kind of on the inside. If you look really close, you can see how the seams are. There's some pretty good gaps there, and that's because that little miter angle in there is not perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a glue brush and I'm going to brush some glue down in those seams to reinforce the whole thing. So that's the inside of the pyramid there. Got it all glued up. So that's definitely going to reinforce the whole thing. That pyramid that you just saw cut out there, the small one, or that triangle, that's the same size as the one that I just put together in this video. And it's got the flower of life cut out. I didn't do it initially on the first one because it just takes a long time to cut it out. Like these two pieces together here took 29 minutes to cut out. So multiplying that times 4, basically looking at 2 hours just in cutting time to cut these out. The idea is that I'm going to make the next pyramids with the flower of life on each side. And then we're going to put a light in the center so the flower of life will reflect out onto the wall or whatever. It'll just look cool. So here's basically what I end up with when I pick the parts up out of the machine. Some of it stays behind. Some of it stays in the part and I have to punch it out. Hopefully it cut through all the way on the back so it makes it easy to punch out. The bigger one, this is going to be the one, hopefully, that we use at the beach when we do our flower of life meditation and we draw the big one. This pyramid will go in the center. Okay, so it looks like the little one turned out pretty good. I was able to sand off all the burn residue, so I think it would paint up really nicely. So basically the idea is that we'll have a side on it like that, or maybe all 4 sides, or maybe we'll do like the Eye of Horus and some other stuff in the pyramid, and then all around here. Ultimately the idea is to make this out of a much nicer wood, like a cherry wood that I use for most of my engravings, and then put engraving all around the whole pyramid. Put a light inside there and let the light shine out. I think it'd be pretty cool. There it is. Shot it with some white primer. So it's just brilliantly white right now. Not sure where I'm going to go with it from here, but it's done. All right, so there you have it. That's how you make a little mini GP, and that one's done, painted. Of course, I got more work to do to paint it and finish it up really nice. And then tomorrow is New Year's Day, but I still will probably come to my shop and play around and work on making this big one right here. So I've got this one panel cut. There's another one cut in the laser. So I got 2 more panels to go. And get this big one made and put a light in it and see what it looks like. All right, thanks. Peace.